Kia ora Star Wars fans, welcome to Middle Aged Kiwi Man collecting Star Wars figures. Now, just a couple of weeks ago I was really fortunate to be part of a Hasbro Q&A session, and that opportunity was given to me by Chris from bantherskull.com. Go check it out, best website in the world. Now, Chris from Bantherskull allowed me to ask his questions on behalf of Bantherskull, and he wrote some amazing questions, and one of them in particular, which we're going to look at in this video today, was framed around the lack of articulation in the new Chopper figure, but he asked it in a way where he referenced FX-7, the figure from 2001, so it's worth checking out this Q&A to see, because there's something significant I think there for the Finish the 96 crew. Also, just a wee plug, last night I was fortunate enough to be on a live stream with my mate Dan, Scott Crusher, Matt and Andrew from Keep On Collecting, Usual Mike Television, and of course Phil from Treasures for Trigger. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. It's a lot of fun. It was pretty late at night here, I was pretty tired, but yeah, it was fun. But let's get on to this question about FX-7. Now, Chris is a very smart man, so he was asking a question about this figure, the Chopper figure, and as you can see there, these little arms, they rotate, but they have no articulation in the elbows. So really cleverly, Chris made it about this figure, the FX-7, and until I read his question I didn't actually know that it had 18 arms. I'd never counted it, and there is elbow articulation in there.
Bantha skull.
Kia ora, thank you. I call this question A Tale of Two Droids. In 2001, Hasbro released this little beauty, FX-7. It has 18 very thin arms, and they each have elbows. I'm sorry to use the E word. In 2023, we got Chopper. I love Chopper, and this joint is amazing, but he doesn't have elbows. So the question is, you know, technology improves. We've seen amazing increases in all the figures. It seems a little bit counterintuitive that we can't do elbows on droids anymore. But is there something else you could tell us that may be behind this? Is it about cost? Is it about factory demands? Is it regulations? Or what might be behind the change?
I don't know the specifics on Chopper in regard to that, but I would say yes. It's all of those concerns come in on each figure. And things, we're in an environment where regulations do change, where capabilities change on specific machines sometimes, and like those sort of things. And we're constantly evaluating and trying to find that perfect pathway there. I have one of those exact FX-7 figures sitting on my desk at the office, right above my monitor. I'm well aware of that figure. It's a beautiful piece, and I don't think that figure would pass some of our quality standards that we have evolved to now. And I think that's just part of the landscape we live in. Like those requirements change and move, and figures will change and move over time as we do that stuff. So it's just trying to walk the line, and cost is always going to be a part of this. I mean, every time that FX-7, I suspect, would never pass on many levels today, both from a cost. I mean, that's got to be an exorbitantly expensive figure to make. Just assembly labor alone on all those arms. I mean, I don't think we would ever do that in today's world. But I say that, and then next week something might change, and who knows? So I mean, that's where I hesitate to anytime tell you guys that it's off the table, or that something's a hard line, because it's not. I mean, things do evolve and change, and we're trying to push boundaries on all these things. So sometimes we get a little further with those pushes than others.
Yeah. Thanks for your answer, and that's fascinating, because a lot of people would say, just take that figure and chuck it on a TVC card and we're good. So that offers a lot of insight about that, and yeah, and we really appreciate Chopper, his little what head joint.
Yeah, that was a great fun addition that the team managed to work in. So yeah, very cool.
And of course this FX-7 figure dates all the way back to 2001. And many people have just said, this is the figure that we should just repack and put it on a vintage collection card. It's perfect, there's nothing else that needs to be done to this. Has a wonderful paint job. As we've said, it's got so many moving arms and articulation. It spins. It's just an absolutely fantastic figure, and nothing more really needs to be done to it. And there he is with his buddy FX-7 from Revenge of the Sith, and it's a very similar design. I like the way they did this in the prequel. So obviously that was Empire Strikes Back 1980, and they designed basically an earlier version of it, what that might look like. Oh, the camera zoom's going in and out. So this one has lots of parts as well, but notably doesn't have as many hinged kind of elbow parts as the FX-7. So if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. I'm middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures. Please sound off in the comments below about what you think they're going to do for the vintage collection to tick off the 96. Do you think they're just going to ignore it? Do you think we'll get a less articulated version? What do you think is going to happen? And then also let me know in the comments whether you think this is going to make the price of FX-7 go up. I have to admit, within a couple of days of that Q&A coming out, I went onto eBay and bought another loose one just in case. Because again, it's pretty much nothing else you can do with this figure. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Ka kite, and I'll see you on another video.
Articulating head. He's giving us attitude, even in toy form. It's one of my favorite figures.